Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Illegal 1955. This is going to be another film noir starring Edward G. Robinson, the great actor who really stole the show when he acted in Double Indemnity. He plays another clever type person in this one. He starts out as a ruthless DA, getting conviction on every single case without fail. And eventually, inevitably, he ends up sending an innocent man to death row by electrocution. When another guy gives his signed confession right before he dies from gun wounds for another less serious crime, such as robbery or assault or something. Edward G. Robinson naturally feels guilty about it. He quits his job. He starts drinking. He was going to be in line to be governor, but he starts drinking heavily, kind of like my former boss in downtown San Francisco. Although with him, I think it was cocaine, not alcohol, but same concept. He thinks he can do civil law, but nobody wants to hire him. He's just going around drunk at bars asking for work, and obviously that doesn't help. So he ends up going to jail for being drunk and disorderly. He gets a $50 fine because the judge admired him as DA or something, and some other guy is talking about how he's innocent and stuff. So he ends up taking the guy's case. There was another case that involved some gambling ring guy. I guess 95% of his, or 90% of his business is legitimate. I think his name is Frank Garland or something. And there was like an embezzlement case that he won because he had a roll of or something. He got it dismissed somehow, and I don't remember all the details honestly, but I've been watching this since yesterday. And the second case he took, he was the guy he met in jail, I think. Oh, I know what happened. So the company that got money embezzled from it was one of the Frank Garland companies, I think, and the owner of the company gave Edward G. Robinson $10,000 so that tarnish the company's reputation with a trial. So there's a little bit of cutting corners, I guess you could say, from Edward G. Robinson, and it continues later because with the trial with the guy he met in jail when he was being released for a $50 fine. He proved that he could knock out one of the witnesses by punching him in the face while he was walking by. And the sneaky thing was that he had a roll of nickels in his hand to do it, and got his client off the case. And then Frank Garland noticed that that particular case, because the defendant was also Frank Garland employee somehow. So now he's all mixed up with the Frank Garland gambling scheme, and he starts working for Frank Garland. He shows up at a party, and Frank Garland sticks a check for $15,000 in an envelope, which is even more than what he got from the embezzlement case. And he's got this young and blondie attorney who is working in the DA office. She's supposed to be like a daughter figure, but originally they were supposed to set her up as a love interest, but there was too much age difference between Edward G. Robinson and the blondie. By the way, I'm giving this 5 out of 5 stars. I love this flick. And there's also Hugh Marlowe. He plays the blondie's boyfriend. Eventually, they get married because Edward G. Robinson tells her to marry him. There's sort of a plot twist towards the end. I don't want to spoil too much of the ending, but anyways. The DA thinks that somebody's leaking information to all these cases, and the next case involves poison and some kind of business deal. So Edward G. Robinson stages another theatrical thing where he knew that the poison wouldn't kick in for 45 minutes. So he actually drank the poison, and in front of the courtroom, everybody was shocked. They thought they were going to have a heart attack. And then he went to a doctor to get his stomach pumped or something right away, even though the press, the reporter, was trying to get an interview with him. And that's pretty much the movie. I don't want to spoil too much of the ending because there is a plot twist ending. That's pretty cool. It took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it. And it's not really towards the end. It's more towards the 2/3 mark. But pretty cool plot twist. Of course, Inglorious Black and White. And my next movie is The Big Steal with it's a 1949 Robert Mitchum noir. And my best friend flaked on me because she's sick. So I'm going to be watching movies all day today and Wednesday. I got A Cry in the Dark, which is an Australian woman under the suspicion of murder after her infant daughter is carried off by a dingo during a family camping trip. She insists the animal killed her baby, but police note inconsistencies in her story. 2 hours and 1 minute. Meryl Streep playing an Australian lady. Blame it on the dingo. I don't know too much about the story. I just know it's 1988. So I got The Big Steal, Robert Mitchum, 1949, and Cry in the Dark. Meryl Streep, 1988. And then I got Rattlers, which is 1976. So I got those three. I'm going to try to get through all of them today, and maybe three more on Wednesday. And I had a nice phone interview with Sonic Internet, which is my internet provider here. It's 1 gigabyte speed. Excellent company. So hopefully I can work for them pretty soon, sometime early next year, and get my career back on track, so I don't have to keep hopping between cable construction companies every couple of years. It's been kind of frustrating. I just like to stick with one company and kind of grow within the company, which is what they're offering me. And they're actually offering me double overtime on Saturday, which is even better. I could switch my good eggs, which is only 10 hours, and work 14 hours on Saturday. And then my weekday off day, I'll just work all day at good eggs, get my 10 hours on that day. So I'll lose a little bit of good eggs pay, but I'll gain a lot more Sonic pay. I just got to figure out how I can get a half day, either tomorrow or Thursday, to go up to Santa Rosa for the interview. So that's pretty exciting. Despite not getting a hot date with my best friend, I haven't been on a date a real date with somebody local here in 2 years. So I've been kind of living like a monk. Haven't touched any coffee or alcohol or any kind of substance, but I did drink a half bottle of red line thinking that I had a good chance to meet my best friend. I was wrong. And so that red line kind of kicked in. I haven't had it for a few months. My body's not used to it. And so I'll definitely be doing some more reviews. Sorry, I forgot about the details on this one. Things just happen so fast. And it's not a long movie. It's only 1 hour, 28 minutes, which is normal. But things happen, and there's so many different cases going on. And it's like watching The Big Sleep, I guess. If you don't pay attention for 5 minutes, you're going to miss something. Let me put it to you that way. And that's the kind of movie I love, actually, because you got to really pay close attention. Even then, you won't get all of it. I had that problem with The Big Sleep too. So that's the end of my review. I'll definitely put in 2 or 3 more today, because I'm going to be with my son pretty much half day, 1 to 7. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to hang out at the library pretty much all day long, unless he demands to go to Target or something. So that's my plan. I'm going to kick it into high gear, this movie review stuff. So watch for 5 or 6 more before the weekend. It's going to be good. I'm going to do my spiel today and Wednesday throughout the day. So be on the lookout for that later.